Hey everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this channel. We are going through Python from zero, step by step. So every day, every video builds on this last one. In our first video, we talked about why Python and why it's a perfect language to start with, and also why it is used everywhere from data science to web development to automation. In our second video, we went deep into variables and data types like strings, integers, floats, and something like that for about an hour. Today, we are going to cover one of the most important concepts in all of programming, not just Python, and it's called conditionals. One or more specifically, if, elif, and else conditionals. Okay, here's the honest truth: you cannot write any meaningful program without this. Every real world program make decisions. Your phone make decisions. YouTube make decisions. Google Maps make decisions. All of that at the core comes down to this, like this. If something is true, do this. Otherwise, do that, like that. By the end of this video, you will fully understand why conditional are and why they exist, how to use if, elif, and else in Python. Also, we will learn logical operators like and, or not, how to nest condition inside each other, how to check parity, means if it is even or odd, the match case statement. Also have some problems for you to work on. Okay. Before we touch any code, I want to make sure you truly, before we touch any code, I want to make sure you truly understand what a conditional is, not just how to write it, but what it means and why computers need it. Think about your everyday life. You already use conditions constantly. You just don't call them that. When you for example, when you wake up in the morning, if it is raining, takes an umbrella. You take an umbrella. If you are hungry, you eat breakfast. If you are late, skip breakfast and run, like that. Also, another example, when you are at a traffic light, if the light is green, you go. If the light is red, you stop. If the light is yellow, you slow down. uh, Also, when you buy something online, if the item is in stock, show you can show add to cart. If the item is out of stock, you will also uh, press the button notify me, something like that. See the pattern. Every single one of those is a decision made based on conditions. Computer and Python programs work the exact same way. The computer checks whether something is true or false and decided what to do next based on that answer. Without conditional, every program would run the same way every single time, no matter what. There will be no way to react to different situations, no way to make the program smart, or no way to handle user input differently, no way to build anything useful, something like that. Okay. Here is a fundamental thing to understand. Conditional always boils down to one question: is this true or is this false? In Python, there are two values of booleans which are possible. One is true or another one is false. Conditional are completely powered by booleans. When Python evaluates a condition, it always asks the same question: is this true or is this false? If it is true, run the code inside the block. If it is false, skip it or run something else. That's the entire concept. Everything else we learn today builds on this one simple idea. Okay. Before we can write conditions, we need to know how to compare things. Python gives us six comparison operators, and you probably already know most of them from basic math. Let me write which one are these. So now very important, look at the equal comparison. It is double equals, not single equals. We use double equals for if we want to compare two things, then we use double equals. Single equal, like in the last video, we use single equals for assigning something to a variable, like x is equals to 5. So we are assigning x value, so we are assigning 5 value to the x variable. See, you are giving a variable a value. For double equals means comparison, you are asking are these two things equals or not, something like that. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Also, this is one of the most common mistakes beginner makes. Let's see in the course. Let's say I have x equals to 5, and I have, and now I want to print x. Also, I have print. I'm asking now x. I'm asking. I'm asking is x is equals to 5. So this one prints out the value which have we. So if, and this one will give us two boolean expression. There are two boolean expression, which one is true and another one is false. So this one says true because we know that x is x values is 5, and when we are asking now, this will ask questions to Python, that is x value is 5 or not. This one says yes, it is 5, so it is print out true. If it is not x value 5, let's say if I change x, here is 6. Now again I run it, then will it show me that this line show me false, because we know that x, now I have assigned the x value to 6, and here it is 5. I'm asking about 5, so this will be false. So here this double equal signs works as a comparison of two values. I'm asking x value, which is 6, and 6 equals to 5. No, it's not. And I know that 6 x is 6, and here I am assigning a 6 value to the variable x. So here is assigning, and here is a comparison. Okay, let's try every operator so you can see what they produce. And let's say I have a is equals to 10 and b is equals to 20. So now I want to say print a equals to b. This will be false, we know it. Now I'm asking a is a not equals to b. This one will be true. And I'm asking print a is a greater than b. This will be false, because we know that a is 10 and b is 20. Now I'm asking print a less than b. This one will be true, because we know that 10 is less than 20. Now I'm asking print is a greater than or equals to b. This one will be false. Now I am asking print is a less than or equals to b. This one will be false. Now let's check it. Now let's check it. So there is something messy, so let me create a blank here. In order to create a blank here after this false, I just have to type here print and do not give it anything else. Just I will type print and give these two brackets. This will create a whole blank line. So when I run it, you see, when I run it, you see there is a black line. Okay, so if I try it another time, this will also gives me two blanks line. Okay, this only print line will give us blank line. Now let's see the results. Let me just grab this terminal up to this right hand side. So we just double click panel position. Now see it right. Now this is good. The code is here and the panel is. So now we know that first value is a, and now this will ask is a equals to b. We know that no, a is not equals to b. This will create this will give us boolean value. Boolean, there are two boolean value. We know the one is true and another one is false. This one gives us false. And now this one asks, is A does not equals to B? Yes, it is true. A is not equals to B. We can see that. Now this one asks, is A is greater than B? Yes, no, sorry. The A is not greater than B. This one gives us false. So this one asks, is A less than B? Yes, it is less than B. So this one print out true, true boolean value. And this one asks, is A greater than or equals to B? This is no, this is not even greater than or equals to B. So this one create out false. This one asks, is A less than? Yes, it is less than, but it is not equals to. So at least it is less than, so it will print out true. Yes, it is less than B, but it is not equals to B, but it is less than. So this will print out true. You can also compare any values, not just numbers. So let me first create a name which says Jahan, and now I'm asking print. In the print statement, I'm asking, is name equals to uh, Johan? Let me see what is the output. It says true. Yes, the name uh, is name equals to John. Yes, it says equals to John. Let me ask another question. Is it says a parent, is name equals to uh, Johan with small j? This one is a false, because Python is a case sensitive, so it will say not. So it will say false, because we know that here I defined John, the value that the variable name hold, which is with capital letter J. Here I am asking with small j, so it will print out false. Okay, like print give me a blank line. So we know that Python is a case sensitive with string comparison. So with John with J capital are not equals to John with a small j. Each comparison gives you back a boolean, true or false value. Either one is true or false. These booleans are what power your if statements. Let's see how it works. So now let's look at the basic syntax of if statement. The if statement in Python has a very specific structure. Let's look at it. If condition is true, do this. So there are three things to notice here. The keyword, which is if at the start, the condition that something evaluates to true or false, and also when you write condition after the if keyword, you will need a colon at the end of the if line. Okay, so when you press enter, and you see the code inside the block is four times four spaces indented of one tab. We can say that this is called indentation. So it is not optional in Python. It is how Python works. What code belongs inside the if block, and if you do not indent correctly, Python will throw an error, or worse, it will run incorrectly without telling you. Okay, so let me clear this one out. So now we will get an error because we don't know what the condition is. I mean what the condition is here. So if you just run it for the sake of purpose. It will say indentation error expected, and if statements on line 39. Okay, this one here. So it will throw us error. Let us just clear it here. So let me create a two variables. A is equals to 99 and B is equals to 33. Now if A is greater than B, this is the condition. This first we will use if keyword. Okay, then we use the what the condition is. We are asking if A is greater than B. We know that A is greater than B. So here's the condition defined, and colon here. When you press enter, you see line start does not start it from here. it is starting from here. This one is 4 tabs. Okay, 4 tabs. uh, 4 tabs. So now here, so now we so here so here we will write our condition. Let's say print, we want to print if this condition is true, so we will print yes, a is greater than b. So when we run it, it will print this thing out because we know that a is greater than b, and we write it here. So it says yes, a is greater than b. Let me create a blank line here for the visuality visualizing. So this is a yes, a is greater than b. So we see the output here. So first it evaluates is a greater than b. Yes, so the condition is true. Since it is true, Python runs the code inside the indented block and prints the message. So now what if the condition is false? Okay, so let's just create a condition which is false. Let's say a is 33 and b is 99. So if we run it again, mhm, you see nothing here prints out. This last line is the for this print state print, which putting here has a symbol. So but here the condition is false, so nothing prints out on the screen. No output at all. The condition is false, so nothing happens. The prints never happens. Python just skips right past the entire if block. This is important. If there is no else, if there is no else, and the condition is false, the program just moves on. You can see we see here that if condition is false and there is if there is no other condition to check on, then Python will move on and will not print anything here because there is only we define only one condition. If that condition is false and there is nothing else to print on here, then Python will move on. Okay, so now the else clause comes here. Most of the time when a condition is false, you want to do something different, not just skip it. You want to do something. That's where else clause comes in. So let's yes. So we now just created a if condition here, and we said this is the condition. If it is true, run this line of code which is here intended. So now if I want to create another condition, let's say if now I want to create if this condition is not true. We know that this condition is true because a is so we know that this condition is not, we know that a is not greater than b. But now else print else print yes, a is less than b. So when we run it, so the here we can see the output which is yes, a is less than b, because now we know that a is less than b. Think of else as the catch all. If the condition is false, Python automatically runs the else block. You do not write any condition for else. It just catches everything that didn't match the if block. So we can see that here uh, that condition is false, so Python moves on the next condition which is else. This condition will eventually print out something here because this is the else block, and if something is not true, then this will condition will run out. So if this is not true, this is eventually run out. Let's say if this one is true, then this condition will not run out. Let's create a condition here that says 99 and 33. So now that we know that there, now here if condition is true because a is greater than b, we know that a is greater than b, so this condition this thing will print out. You see that a is greater than b. So now here else block did not run out. Okay, here just first block, which is if block, runs out and which is true, and then things will print out. An else block does not have its own condition. It is always the everything else falls back. Okay. So now, if you need multiple conditions, so there here comes the else clause. Sometimes you have more than two possible situations. You need to check multiple condition in a sequence. That's where else comes in. It stands for ELF, ELIF. ELF stands for else if. Let's create here. Let's just print. So now let's create a is 10 and b is 10. So now we are asking if a is greater than b, print what print a, sorry, a is, yes, a is greater than b. Now here comes the if condition here. So we know that a, if this condition true, run this code. If a equals to b, run this condition, which is yes, a equals to b. Else else print a a is less than b. So when we are asking, so the first condition which is says if which the condition is a greater than, we know that this is not true. So this is false. So the if block will not run out, will not show us the output. So the Python comes on the next block, which is elif block. ELIF else, for the EL short form else, and IF for the if block. If the if block is correct, is true, then this will, so we know that 10 is equals to 10. So a equals to b. So this is the what outputs it here. Okay. And the Python will not go to the else condition, because the if condition has been true, so it will run this code. Also, Python check condition from top to bottom. The moment it find one condition that is true, it runs that condition. If it runs that condition, that block, and skip all the remaining if and else blocks. If none of the condition are true, it runs the else block. So the order matters. Let's look at some more complete examples. The full structure, like you can have as many else blocks as you need. There is no limit, but you can have only one if and at the start and one else at the end. Okay. So now let me let's give you another example. So now here let's create a variable which says score, which is equals to, let's say, 75. Let's match the score. Let's something say, let's say, and now based on that score, I want to print out I want to print out that did she get plus A, plus B, or plus C grade? Which grade did she get based on this score? So let me create a conditions here. Score is if score is greater than or equals to 90, give him print what to give him a plus. If his score is greater than or equals to 90. If his score is greater than or equals to 80, then give him b plus. Okay. If his score is greater than or equals to 70, then give him c plus, capital C plus. If his score is greater than are equal to 60, then give him print out d d plus. Okay, now what if his score is less than 60? Then everything comes in else block. Okay, so print, uh, so let's say, so if so let's say fail. So when I run it, she will get C plus because his score is greater than 70 and less than 80, and it's between 70 and 80. If it is in between 70 and 80, then she will get B plus. So you see, so Python here works from top to bottom in order. First it checks if statement, and it gives back a boolean value which is says false. Then it will not print out this one because we know that the score is less than 90, and here is the condition. Here condition is which should be greater than 90. So this block gives back a boolean condition which is false. So we need true condition, then Python will run on another condition which is if condition which says greater than 90 but it's less than 80. So this will also give us false value. So Python also again give on next condition, even so this is if condition which says greater than 7. So now this block will works, and this gives cut back to Python true value. So Python will skip these two value and will not run these two value and will not check these two values because here Python gets the true conditions, true boolean value, and from the above two which give them false. Okay, so if I just so that's how we get C plus here score. So if I just change his score up to 90, so the first condition will work. If I just say his score is 40, then last condition will works because we know that these all condition will fail and the last remaining condition which is else will work out. So far we have been checking one condition at a time, but in a real program you often need to check multiple conditions together. So Python gives you three logical operators to combine condition. So now we are going to work on logical operators. Logical operators. There are three logical operators. One is AND, second one is AND OR, and third one is NOT. So the AND operator, which is with AND, both condition must be true for the result to be true. If even one is false, the whole thing is false. Let's see. Let's say I have three variables. One is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So now here asking if condition. So now asking conditions. I will say if B is greater than A and so now I'm asking, now I'm using a logical operator which is and so I have to define another condition. So first condition is this condition: is B greater than A? So this will check, is B greater than A? Yes, B is greater than A. Now I need to define another condition which is is C greater than A? If these two conditions, which are condition, these two conditions, B greater than A, which says yes, it is greater than A. Is C greater than A? Yes, 3 is greater than 1. So these both conditions must be true for the AND operator. So I'll say print, what to print? Yes, both are greater than. Something like that to print out. So when I write, so let me create another condition which is else. If if these if these two conditions are not correct, if either of one is not correct, if this one is not, we know that this one is correct, but let's say, let's hypothetically think that if this one is not correct or this one, either both of them are not correct or one is not correct. So so in order to just not print nothing on the screen, so let's create another block which is else, and say print uh, no, both are not greater than. So when I run it, it will say yes, both are greater than. So this condition is true. Python comes here, checks is b greater than a, yes, and c logical operator which is and c is another condition. So yes, it is correct. And so if both conditions are correct, then this will print out this whole line on the screen. So you can see, if let's say either of them condition is false, so now we know that c is not less than a. So here I change the condition from c greater than to c less than a. So now this will, so now the Python comes here, and let me see first output. So you see, no, both are not greater than. You see output. So this line, this else block runs here because either of them condition, if this condition or this condition comes becomes false, or both become false, either one become false, the whole condition if block becomes false, and Python this one gives back false value. So by false boolean value, so for Python will not print any of them anything from this. E- so this will comes out to this. Let's say if I did not have else block, and I also have this condition which is false, so when I run it, nothing will be print out. This blank line comes from this printed statement. Okay, this print statement will create a blank line here. Think of and like a security checkpoint. You need to pass all checks to get through. Okay, so truth table for and is if both condition are true. So that so here comes true. If both condition are false, then the output will be so boolean value will be false. If either of them is one is false, another is true, so the boolean value for the if statement, if block will be false. If one is true and another is false, so the boolean value comes out will be false. So now here comes the next operator, which is OR operator. With OR, at least one condition must be true for the result to be true. If both are false, then the result is false. So let's create. Another example and say x, which is 3, y, which is 4, and z, which is 5. So now we are using and or logical operator. So let's create condition here. Let's say if now I need to define the condition. Which condition I need to know? Now let's say if x greater than 4, not 4, y. Or now I'm using here or logical operator. So so, or will check either both of them correct or one of them correct. So we use or here. So let's define here another condition. Let's say is z greater than y. So here we know that this condition is false, x greater than y, because here x is 3 and y is 4. So we know that x is not greater than y. So and here another condition which is z greater than y. Now we know that, so z is greater than y. So here are both. So here are two conditions and one of them is correct. So that's where we use OR operator. So now we will print uh, at least one of the condition is true. Else, so we will if both are not correct, else uh, print print nothing. Let's print here. So it says at least one of the condition is true, because we know that this one is false but this one is true. Okay, so if both are false, let's say if both are false, so we know that x greater than y, yes, it is not true. This one gives back false value, and also this one gives also false boolean value, which is we know that Z is Y greater than Y, but here I am saying is is Z less than Y? It is not less than Y. So what will print out? It will print out nothing. I mean the else block. It will skip just this block and run and move on to the next block. Okay, so now let's move on to the not operator. Not flips the results. It turns true into false and false into true. It reverses the boolean value. What? Not just the not operator. The not operator just turns the value. If it is if something is true, it gives you false value. If something is false, it gives you true value. It reverses the boolean value. That's what not operator not operator do. Let's say m is 99.9 and n is 100. Okay, so now we are using okay, so now we are using not operator. So now we are say let's say if now we are giving the conditions if not a sorry not m greater than n. Now we are asking the question which is that is m greater than n, and I'm saying no, it is not greater than m is not greater than n. And so this will say yes, m is less than n. So this one will print out else 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 box. So let's run it again. It will say m is less than n. So here we know that it's here n not checks that is m greater than n. So it checks no, it's not, m is not greater than. We know that m is we know that m is not greater than n. So this one gives us true value. Okay, instead of changing your comparison operator, uh, you can just put not in front. Okay, now let's move on to the combining multiple operator. You can combine all three operator in one condition and Python evaluate them with a standard procedure. uh, Not first, then added, then or. This is the order. But it is always better to use parentheses to make sure intent clear. Okay, so I am creating a new variable which is age and its value is 25. And I'm also a new variable which is says as id, and I choose it to be as true, and I say is member, and I say yes, he is a member. So I'm checking condition if this is the bracket, or inside the bracket I can write a condition where I say if age is greater than or equals to 18. uh, Here I can comment out. I say must have id. I say must have id and be 18 plus, or I'll be a member, or if he is a member, let him in. So I say is his age is greater than 18 or equals to, we know that his age is yes, it's greater than. We can define another condition and we can say and has id. It will say yes, it is true, has id. He has id and his age is greater than 18. So also or, so here I uses or operator, logical operator. So I am asking is member, is he member? So this one will be false because I already defined here false. So here I will say, if any of these condition true, just print out he has the access granted. Else I can say print access denied. Okay. So here, let's say if I didn't, so let me just first print out the value, print out the output. So it says access granted. So we know that both either of them one condition is true. We know that this whole condition is true. Inside this, I have also another logical operator. So I'm here using two logical operator. One is this, which is outside the bracket, and one is here, this is and, which is inside the bracket. This is just a comment which I am just explaining something, that whoever that person is, whoever that person is, he or she must have an ID and also be an 18 plus. Like his age must be 18, or if he is not an 18, or he does not have a ID, at least he just be a member. Okay. So I'm just saying here be a member. So here I use this or operator. I need just this condition to be true, or just need this condition to be true. I do not need both condition to be true. I need just one. So I use or operator here overall. So I define two condition here. One is on the right hand side condition, which is said is member. So it will check is he member. So I already define on the upper side that no, it's I created here. I just give him false boolean value with a capital F. Let's say if I just write F small f. So here you can see the yellow line appears as and here yellow, so something is not going, something is fishy. So here it says name error false is not defined. Did you mean false with capital F? You see. So we get in. So I have to create a ref. Same with goes with tree. If I give him true, you see some yellow lines come up here, and when I run it, the error will be same, which is name error. Name true is not defined, and you know that true is not defined. Did you mean true? Okay. So has ID? I say yes. He has ID. I said yes. True. It is true. I give him the boolean value, which is resulted as true, and I created another variable which is so here I did not give the variable, assign the variable number or string. I just give him directly a boolean value which is true or false. I give him false. So here is member will be point out will be carried a false value because I created here. So or has two condition. On the right hand side it is false, but on the left hand side it must be true. So because this is false, so this must be true. And in order to give him access granted, in order to print out this line, so this line must be true, or this line must be true. But we know that this line is not true because I already created this is member, because he is not a member. So I said false. So now here brackets. Why I use bracket? Let me show it to you. Let's say if I did not break it, did not break it, so there will be confusion. Is he is if which one condition is true? And as two condition, but also add as this condition. No, where this can comes from. So here bracket is necessary in order to clarify which condition I need to which operator I'm using based on conditions. Even though if I run it, it is correct. Access granted. Here you can see, but it is better to just give this whole line a bracket. So this will checks out first. So inside this there another logical operator which is and. So now and says that both condition must be true. On the right hand side, on the left hand side, both condition must be true. So we know that his age is greater than or equals to 18. So already I define 25, and I am here saying 18. So yes, it is greater than 18. And also the right hand side condition is has ID. I said yes, true. Let's say if I say here false. I know that when it is true, when I run it, access is granted. Access is granted. This code works. This if blocks works. Let's say now here I'm checking if has ID is false. What will be the output? Because AND operator need both condition to be true. AND operator needs on the right hand side, on the left hand side, both condition must be true in order to work, in order to print out something, or in order to be true for the AND operator. So when I run it, this will say access denied because here this has become false, and or says I need any of them true. I need or this one true or this one. If both are true, okay, I can work with that. If both of them correct, and this is not acceptable in OR operator. Either of them, either one of them is correct. So let's say if I just now I'm not changing the has id value to the false to the true. I'm just changing this value. Let's say if I type here true, and this will give him access granted. Okay, so let me just go back and whatever our value was. So this one will be work out and access granted. Now you can put an if statement inside another if statement. This is called nesting. It lets you check more specific condition only after a broader condition passes. Okay, so let me just create a variable which is x, and I'm assigning a value 50. Now I'm creating a nested loop here. If x greater than 10, I know that it is greater than 10, so I say print above 10. Okay, so you see when I hit enter here, I am in the indented blocks of if. I am not the outside of the indented block. If I just press backspace, then I am outside the intended block. But if I wanted to go back in the intended block, so here I need four tabs. So or I need four spaces, or I can tab on the tab keyword on the laptop. So I am here now. I am inside the if block. If I wanted to go outside of if I wanted to go outside of the internet block, I just can do the backspace, and now I'm outside the internet block. So if now I'm creating another if condition inside the if block. So this is called nested. uh, if x is greater than 20, print above 20. Okay, if now I'm creating another if statement inside the if block. So I'm saying if x greater than 30, parent above 30. Okay, now when I hit it, you see when I hit enter here, it says it's started here because this is the if block, and I am in the in this block. So when I press hit enter here, so I eventually got up here, not here, because I am inside this block. Okay, when I press it here, so I am here. So this is called nesting. If x greater than 40, print above 40. When I run it, so the every output will be shown here. I missed here 30. Okay, so let me read it again. It so first intended if block is this one, so this one will run out and it will print out above 10. Yes, this is it. Inside this if block there is another condition which says if. So if x is 20, is x greater than 50 or 20? Yes, it is. So I print out above 20. So another this if block there is another condition which is if block. and it is asking, is x greater than 30? Yes, it is greater than 30, and initially x is 50, so it will also print out x 30 here. So inside this if block there is another if condition, which is if, and it is asking, is x greater than 40? It also print out. Let's say if I created another condition, which is if x greater than 50, print above above 50. So I know that x is not greater than 50 because x is equals to 50. So when I run it, there will be this code will not run out because these all are true, will give me a true boolean expression, boolean value for every block. For each block there are 4 blocks, but this last block, fifth block, will not give me a true because it is false, because we know that x is 50. If I, let's say, change little bit here, if I say x is equals to 3, then I say yes, then it will print above 50, but it is not right here. I will say x equals to 50, so this one will print out. Okay, so this is called nesting. You see, each code is indented 4 spaces. This is 4 spaces indented, so everything you type here, let's say I type print all uh, abc inside this. If this condition is true, this code will work and these both line will print out. So when I run it, you see above 10, then this line runs because it is inside this block. Let's say if this condition is false, if I say if this condition is false, so this line will never runs, and I know that x is not less than 20. So here just 2 lines runs and Python comes back and will not eventually checks on other nested loop, because if condition if another if anything is, because if in the if nested loops, if any one loop is incorrect or gives false value, false boolean expression, then code will skip right there, right here. It just right here and will not print out, even though these 3 conditions are true, but it will not run out because here it just uh, it gives you false value. That's why it just print out a b c. Okay, give you another real world example, which we will be checking fruit ripeness. Okay, so let me create a print here. I'm giving it black line. Okay, so let me create a fruit variable and I will say this is banana, and I will say color, based on I will say color is yellow. Let's say initial. Now I am using conditions here. Let's say if fruit is equals to banana. Okay, if fruit is equals to banana, also if, now I am giving another if condition inside the if condition, if statement. If this condition is true, which is true, so now I am asking another questions code. If so, I am saying if color is equals to green, if it is green, if it is green, so the banana is unripe. Okay, so else, now if color is, if color is equals to yellow, then fruit is ripe. Okay, so if color is color equals to brown, if it is color is brown, then print over ripe. Now else print we only have info about about banana. Okay, so when I run it, it says rice ripe based on the color. If the banana has color yellow, so the banana is ripe. If let's say if I change banana to let's say mango, when I run it, so it will print out we only have information about banana because we know that these all values belongs to uh, banana if the fruit is banana, because here fruit is not banana, so it will not run out any of these values. It will just print out this last block, which is else block, which have to run out, will be running. So now you see that here I am asking is fruit equals to banana. If this condition is true, then these condition will be runs. So inside this if blocks, I created another condition which says if now it says that if fruit is banana, so it knows banana. I can also take input from the user. Let's say input fruit name. I can also take input from the users. Let's say user type BANA. It will not give information about uh, banana with B capital. It will give you it will not because here user define B with small b. So let's say run it again. Let's say if user type correctly with BANA, so it will say right, because I say also color is yellow. I can also give input about color, so I will say input. So I can also now user have to define uh, what is the fruit name, which is banana, and user also have to define what is the color. So it says banana, and also says if it says brown, we are so based on the info, based on the information, based on the condition what we define here. So if user type brown, if user type color which is brown, so it will print out overripe. So let me enter it. So it says overripe. Okay, so the banana is overripe. And the outer if, so the outer if checks the fruit type only if it is a banana. Do we bother checking the color? This is a very common and logical pattern. Okay, so here's a tip: try not to nest more than 2 to 3 levels deep. Deeply nested code becomes hard to read. Okay, consider using function to simplify complex logic. So we will be using in upcoming videos what is a function. Also, Python allows you to write simple if-else condition in a single line, just in a single line. This is called a ternary expression or inline condition. It is great for simple, clean decision. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say j equals to triple seven and k equals to triple nine. So what is the normal way? So let me write a normal way. So which is if j is greater than is less than k, parent j is less than k. So this is how we use normal method. Let's say for shorthand method, if j less than k, print j is less than k. Okay, so when I run it, let me give him a fruit name, banana, and type banana. So here you can see this line comes from this. This is the normal way we use the if statement. So here it says j is less than k, and here the shortened method, which we will just write the whole line in just a single line. Okay, if j is if sorry, from right to left we read as if j is less than k, print this line on the screen. This is how this line here. Okay. Let me give you also if else conditions. Let's say a is equals to, this is another example, if a is equals to 10 or 8 and b is equals to 10. So what is the normal way? We know that normal way, if a is greater than b, we will say print a is greater is greater than b, else we will say print b is greater than a. Okay, so this is the normal way, shortened method, short shorthand method. So ternary way or shorthand method will be like parent, what to parent, that a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, if a is greater than b, parent this line if a is greater than b. Okay, and we will say space else print else print else print b is greater than a. Okay, so when we run it, let me just remove this. So normal way, we know that if, let me just little bit move this. So normal way we know that in this condition will work and this will be print out. Oh sorry, this one will be print out. B is greater than a, because we know that B is greater than a. So in the shorter method, ternary method, this is how we will write this whole line. Here we will write first the statement, what to want to print out, what to want to say. That if this line is, if this line, print this line from here, from here to here, print this line if this condition is true. But we know that this condition is not true because a is not greater than b. So else print just this line. So this is how this line prints out. Use ternary expression only for simple obvious logic. If it starts to look confusing, write it is as a normal. If else else is block, readability always wins. So you know, so in order to write, just write it on the normal method. Okay, now I will talk about parity. Parity means if it is even or odd. In mathematics, parity refers to whether a number is even or odd. This is one of the most common things you will check in programming. To check parity in Python, we use the module operator. You know that module operator. In the last video, I defined it to you. This is the module operator which just gives you the remainder. What is the remainder? If two numbers divided by, if two number divides. So print, let me just write inside the print statement that print 10 modulus by 2. So when you divide 10 by 2, uh, so the remainder is 0. So this one gives you 0, which is the remainder when you divide 10 by 2. So here 0 is not the answer. So here 0 is the remainder when you both divide two numbers. Okay. So when you divide any uh, odd number by 2, so you know that the remainder will be 1. So this is the even number. We know that 10 is the even number. When you divide it by 2, the remainder always will be 0. So this modulus operator gives you 0, and this is the even operator. Sorry. So this is the 11, which is odd. When divided by 2, the modulus, so the remainder is 0. So remainder is 1. So the modular operator will give you 1 here. Okay, so the key inside, if the number divided by 2 equals 0, then it is even. It divides perfectly by 2 with no remainder. If it is equals to 1, it is odd. So create let's create a program for this. Let's write a number. So now x is equals to, let's say, something this number which is quite big, but we know that this number is odd, because the last number, if the last number is odd, the whole number is odd. If the last number is even, then the whole number is even. So even is 2 4 6 8, odd is 1 3 5 7 9. So in the last there is 7, so whole number is odd. Okay, so now let's create a if a condition. If x modulus by 2. Okay, so this condition will divide it. So this so here x will be divided, this whole number will be divided by 2, and will give you the remainder, which is 0. So this whole expression, so this whole value will give you 0. Now I'm asking, if whatever the value of this one gives me is equals to 0. If it is 0, then print that yes, yes, x is even. Else else print x is odd. Okay, so when we run it, we know that x is odd whatever the value is. So now here we know that x value is this one, and we know that this one is odd number, so it will check out. So here it will come and evaluate it. This one gives back to Python false value, so it will did not pick this block. It will move on to the next block. So here we define a next block which says print x is odd. We know that now this number is odd, so this will comes. So this is how we can do it. So here simply, so here you will be given a value of 0, because this whole number will be divided by, here I give a sign a modulus, so it will divided by 2, and when you divide by this number, the value will be here 1. When you divide it by 2, you will get an remainder 1. So here so here remainder is 1. So now condition will be checked. If 1 is equals to 0, we know that 1 is not equals to 0. So this whole condition will becomes, so this whole condition will become false, give us false boolean expression value. So we will move on to the next value, which is else, and x is odd. That is what's print out. Also, the pass statement here is a small but important thing, which I need to tell you. If something cannot be empty, if you write an if condition with no body, with no print statement, anything. If you want to just if you just do not want to print anything, so Python will throw a syntax error. Let me show you. Let's say if b is equals to, if number, let's say number is equals to 2032, if number is less than, is greater than 30, i just I just do not want to write here, just do not want to write anything here. When I run it, you will get an error, an expected error, indent block after if statement line. You will get get an error, and it's also telling where it occurs on the 200 line. So this is the line. Okay, so what to do if you do not want to write? So you will get a syntax error which says expected and intended blocks. Now what to do? So in order to, if you do not want to write something here, just say pass. Pass is a Python keyword. So you will type PASS pass with a P small. Okay. If you type it P with bigger, with big P, with capital P, so you will get an error. You also see that there is a yellow lines appears down here. You see there is a yellow or whatever the your Visual Studio shows the color below this. I am showing yellow here. So something is not right, something is fishy. So it will give us name error. Now it's give us that pass is not defined. Yes, we know that pass, we not in our this whole code we did not define a what is pass, or is pass a value or boolean value or integer is a pass, something like that. We did not define a pass. So in order to use a Python pass keyword, we will simply write it pass with small. So when I run it, nothing will no error will be appearing. This is what pass do. It will just tell Python do nothing, just skip here. It will just buy Python tell Python just do nothing, just skip it. But so that's why Python is, so here Python satisfied. Pass is a placeholder. You use it when you need the structure of an if block, but you haven't written the actual logic yet. That's where we use it. Very common when you're building out the skeleton of a program. Very common when you use any skeleton of a program. That's where we use it. Also, now there is a match case, which is a Python switch statement. So in Python 3.10 version, in Python 3 version, 3.10 version, they introduce a new way to write certain condition, which is a match case. You might know this is a switch statement for from other languages like JavaScript or C. They call it switch statement. So it's cleaner than a long chain of if else conditions when you matching one variable against many possible exact value. So now we are using string mesh. Let me create a name. Let's say there is a person his name is Johan, and he lives in somewhere. He lives in, so let's say name, and he lives in Germany. Let's say he lives in USA. So here, so I want to match his name to his country. Let's say match is a keyword of Python, and we will use what do we want to match? We want to match this name. Okay, so match name, semicolon, then we press enter. The four spaces will be indented. So there is a case which is if his name is Vic, then there is a pipe symbol. If there is a both, if there is no, if there is other name also, let's say Vic. If there is name is, if his name is Vic, if his name is Ron, if his name is Harry, inside the bracket, and comma, press hit enter, print that any of these names. If his name is Vic, if his name is Ron, if his name is Harry, then these three brothers lives in USA. No, I mean they are lives in Germany. Germany. So I will print Germany. Okay. So the match statement takes the name, and it so here I define the condition, which is his name is Johan, so it will match name. So it will take this four. So this will take Johan and will match first cases. This one Vic is not John, Ron is not John, Harry is not John. Even you can say that J with small j is not equals to this John, because this is capital letter J and this is small letter. So now we need another case to match where John is there. Let's say if there is case, if there is a case John, both letter. If it is John parent, he lives in China. Okay, if now I'm match case number, this is the case number first, which matches Johan. So none of them John is here. So the Python skips it. So it will move on to the next. So also there is no John in here. So it will skip this case also. So now it will move on third case, which is let's say right this one. Now this case matches to whatever we are matching. Here we are matching this. So this matches here. So it will print out. Let's say he lives in USA. Now, if there is no case, I mean, if there is if there is no name, if there is no name with whatever here it is, so we can literally say here an underscore. With we can just type here an underscore, which means default last case. Okay, so we'll type an underscore. So we will say print who. So when I run it, you see USA. Why USA? Because John lives in USA. That's how define this condition here. Okay. So let's say if I just change this John capital letter to simply say John. So now the output will come China, because first case this matches with this number, even though the next case also matches, but Python will print out the one which matches earlier, one which matches from the order. That's what will print out here. Okay, so this is the match keyword, where you can use match. So now if you use if an system, we will type if name is Vic, if then we will like if name is Ron, if name is Harry, if name is John, if name is this John, if name is this John, if there is nothing else. This is for else case. There will be too much lines. So this match keywords uses that's where we use the case underscore, and the last case at the end is a default case like else, and the pipe means or. So the pipe means or. This is a pipe symbol. Vic or Ron or Harry or John, something like that. When should you use match case versus if-else? Use match case when you are checking one variable against exact fixed values. Okay. Used if-else when you need range checks, complex conditional calculation. Match case requires Python 3.10 or higher version. Check your version with Python uh, version. So that's it today, guys. Now also I'm giving you 10 real world programs in the description. Go check it out them. First do yourself, then check the solutions. Also I'm giving you the solution on my GitHub page. So I'm also giving the link on the description. So that's it. So now let me recap everything so far we have learned today. So we started with the core idea. Condition is just a condition. This is just a question that has a true or false answer. On based on that answer, the program does different things. We learned all six comparison operators like equals to, not equals to, greater than or equals to, and less than or equals to. We learned the three logical operator, and both must be true, or at least one must be true, not flips the results. True to false, false to true. We learn the full condition structure. If for the first check, else for additional checks as many needed as needed, else for fallbacks when nothing else matches. We learned also nested if condition inside conditions for more specific decisions trees. We learned shortened if and ternary expression for simple one linear decision. We learned the pass statement for empty blocks. We learned also match case for pattern matching. We learned about parity, checking if it is even or odd with the modulus operator. Then we solve then I give do not have time. So you have the power to make your program think, to make decision, to react to different inputs and to different situations. In the next video, we are going to learn about loops, how to make your program repeat things automatically. Because right now we make one decision in the if else condition. We make one decision, but what if we want to make that decision thousand times? Huh? That's what loops are for. If this video helped you, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel grow. It also motivates me to put next videos. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment. I read every single one. So see you in the next one.